B is for ButtPlugs. Dear patrons, hi, how are you? Did you have a great weekend? I did. I spent a lot of time outside, enjoying the weather with friends and my partner, as well as engaging in some pretty fascinating conversations. What were the topics, you ask? Well, there were a few, but one in particular that stood out was a conversation we had about butt plugs. So come along with me, dear patrons, as I take you on a journey of sex education around one of my favorite topics, butt stuff. Note, before you get all out of sorts, I want you to know that not every topic is going to be around butt stuff or anal play, really anything related to the butt. I know these first two diary entries have been focused on the derriere, but sometimes life just really wants you to talk about butt stuff, and this is one of those times. All right, back to butt plugs. Where do I begin? Well, let me give you a brief synopsis of what my friends and I discussed. The convo centered around a few areas. 1, fear and intimidation around butt plugs. 2, stigma that exists around butt plugs. And 3, where to even begin if someone wanted to try using a butt plug. So, I figured I would dive deep into these 3 areas and give you my perspective. So let's start with fear. One of the number one reasons why people don't engage in anal play is due to the fear that it will hurt and not be pleasurable. See previous diary entry on anal play. I get this. I was once afraid of having something go in my butt as well. It can be intimidating. We are told sex is going to hurt and that we should never engage with it until we are married or with someone that we love. We then combine that with poor or zero sex education, and we are left with more questions than answers. So when the conversation around anal play arises, we freeze and freak out. But my dear patrons, let me dispel any and all sex negativity around butt plugs. First, we need to realize that it is all right to put something in our rectum. The anus and rectum have so many nerve endings. It is just made to be played with. Second, a butt plug is not a 5 to 10 inch penis or dildo. It is a tool designed specifically for pleasure. Finally, you are a sexual being and deserve to experience pleasure in all ways. This is just one of those options that do not have to be intimidating. All right, 2, let's talk about stigma. When it comes to stigma around butt plugs, I am more so speaking to my cisgender males here. Does stigma exist for vulva owners? Of course it does. Anal play is always seen as kinky, and if something is kinkier than something else, society says it is more taboo, and thus you are dirty for engaging in it. But while it is more socially acceptable for queer people and straight women to engage in anal play, it could not be more stigmatized for straight men. As a society, we have created a paired association between anal play and gay men. If you engage in anal play of any kind, you must be gay, bi, queer, questioning, or anything that is defined as not straight. Because of this, straight men lose out on one of the most pleasurable sensations that exists for a penis owner: prostate stimulation. So if you are a straight penis owner and are reading this, just do it. I can't believe I'm saying this in 2023, but you can still like women and want your butt played with. 3, let's talk about some beginning steps. So where does one begin? Well, I'm assuming you have explored your anus before if you were going to put a butt plug in it, but if not, start exploring. Let's touch it. Let's touch our anus. Try touching it in the shower or right after you shower. Feel the sensation and the tingly feelings that can arise. Those are those nerve endings. When you are ready, grab some lube or coconut oil and start rubbing your anus back and forth. How does that feel? From here, we progress to a finger. Once you can get a finger up in there, let's say up to the knuckle, that's probably a good benchmark, then I think we are ready. A butt plug is used for many reasons. It can help someone achieve an anal or prostate orgasm. It is used in kinky play. It can be used to help stretch the butt for bigger items such as a penis or dildo. Butt plugs are designed to be put in and left there. The base is very wide, and 99.9% of the time, it stays put and does not get sucked up inside the rectum. Although there are some horror stories, but we aren't talking about that here. Because again, 99.99% of the time, it stays put. Remember, anal play should not hurt. Some discomfort is normal, but take it slow. You may feel like you are going to poop, but trust me, you aren't. Do not try and shove it all up in there at once. Take your time. You can easily do this by yourself or with a partner. One thing to note is that arousal helps a ton with this, as you will be more relaxed and open to receiving it. All right, some final words of wisdom. Butt plugs are not the enemy. Sex negativity, toxic masculinity, and purity culture are the enemies. I wonder what a world would look like if you were open to new sexual experiences, dear patrons. Get curious. If butt plugs are too scary at this time, what is something new you can try that isn't as scary? Start there, and then work your way to butt plugs.